All right, picking up from where I left off. This is part 4 with the hidden cosmic flame, aka Kundalini energy that's dormant within us. Picking up from where I left off. All right. The liquid light flows through the nerves as blood does through the veins. Okay. Now you got to remember that Law San Rempa said concerning the Kundalini, it's like electricity that's in your car. Your car won't be able to ride without the electricity flowing out through it. So it is with the electrical current. It flows out through your nervous system, all throughout your neurons, which are like your pistons in the car that fires everything. Okay? So let me go into this. This beats the heart, moves the muscles of the body. See what I'm talking about? Shit. And enable ones to walk or raise the hand. It is also the energizing light within the brain cells. The life stream of the body has often been referred to as the civil cord. So it is. For the stream of liquid light pulsates continuously through the flesh body by way of the nervous system. See? So at so-called death, the God presence withdraws the stream of liquid light and the flesh disintegrates. The reason the race continues to experience, this shit finna get real now. Y'all ain't gonna like this. Y'all, I'm gonna say about 90% of y'all ain't gonna never achieve this if this is the truth. If this is the case. Listen to this. The reason, I remember reading this. The reason the race continues to experience so-called death is because the waste of the electronic light, which is the Kundalini energy, which is stored in the gooch area now. I'm just adding in so you can understand exactly what this electronic light is. Excesses, instead of retaining it within the physical brain and body to rebuild the circular structure and supply the motive power for the entire body, mankind does not like to hear this truth. Oh shit. But the waste of the life energy through uncontrolled feeling is the case of the disintegration of all physical bodies outside of violence. That's some powerful shit. If one uses the inner sight to absorb the light stream of a strong, healthy child, he will see the nerves of the body full of this dazzling light liquid. Dazzling liquid white light. Just like I said, children don't have energy blockages. Okay? They ain't got nothing to worry about. They ain't got no stress. So these energy blockages that we get as adults due to work, stress and shit, worried about your children, worried about these fuck boys and fuck girls and all these bullshits. This shit causes stress and it dims the light within us and it causes energy blockages. I'm referring back to the source field investigations where it showed how when you stress, this light diminishes. It's called energy blockage. So the Kundalini energy can't even flow throughout the body like it should. So children don't have to worry about this. This is why they always doing shit. They got to be moving. They always active. Okay? Unless that child just have an abusive parents or some shit and he got energy blockages at a young age, which is extremely fucked up. But this is what causes all of this. Then if he observes the body of the same child when ill or fatigued, he will see the light greatly diminished. In an old body, it is still more greatly dimmed. And if one wishes to observe the soul passing out of the body or so-called death, will see this life stream entirely withdrawn at the top of the head until it becomes only a thin thread of light which finally breaks. At that moment the heart ceases to beat. So with all that being broken down, we know that the soul enters through the pineal gland, because the pineal gland is the first thing that is actually created or made in the womb of the woman. So here it shows that it comes in, it leaves out. So wherever it came in at, pretty sure that's where it's going to leave out at. Okay? But I read in other books that the cervical cord is connected to the pineal gland, not your navel. Okay? So this is a little information showing that, what I'm talking about. Okay, now dwelling into the science. Let's go. I shall now give you the explanation of the law by which you are able to illuminate, raise the physical body, and express the full dominion, victory, and freedom of the ascended masters. The seed within man and woman is only intended for the sacred office of creating a body by which another soul may come into physical embodiment. At all other times, the glorious light within the body should be raised into the top of the head. That's the Kundalini energy coming from the base of the spine, or basically the gooch area. And allowed to flow up in admiration unto the mighty I Am presence. Then by uplifted thoughts and feelings, one can where we at? Do creative work at the mental level through glorious ideals, idols of art, music, invention, discovery, research, and the creation of beauty and harmony of every description through a service that bless humanity and therefore the individual who gives it. This same thing Gopi Krishna said in his book. Alright, instead of wasting the wonderful liquid light, the marvelous God-given essence of life, in sex, in sex sensation and excesses, whereby the body becomes depleted, flabby, crippled, face lined, eyes dull, the whole structure stop and feeble, the brain inactive, sight and hearing impaired, and the memory not able to function. This energy should be rightly used in wonderful, idealistic, creative activity. In such constructive consciousness and accomplishment, the physical body would remain internally youthful. So basically, y'all stop having so much damn meaningless sex. Okay? You see children don't have sex. Shit, and that's why they so damn energetic. Because this is where your life force is stored. Okay? This has a lot to do with it. Shit. I read some books on Gumby, and Gumby said you shouldn't have sex unless you're trying to have a baby. Okay? I don't know how right. Apparently he was right. Shit. Look at this. Even though he was a racist bastard, still, truth is truth. Anyway, let's go with it. In such constructive consciousness and accomplishment, the physical body would remain eternally useful and beautiful. The brain faculties keen, alert, and active, and the whole physical expression would become the image and likeness of the living God, truly the temple of the Most High. Your bodies are now calling for their accustomed rest. The chambers are in readiness. Sleep until you awaken. Okay, I guess he's talking to the ones that's amongst him. Okay, let's go into it. When the great current of liquid fire, the light stream of the universe, I told you it's the cosmic ray, it is the cosmic serpentine energy. This is a cosmic energy, the Kundalini is. This mighty concentrated, let me finish what I was saying. When the great current of liquid fire, the life stream of the universe is turned downward, it becomes passion. Okay? I guess that's down in the root chakra and in the sacral chakra. This mighty concentrated electronic force or life essence is a liquid light which flows wherever the attention directs it. See, it's moved by chi energy. Okay? This is why you take your prana or chi energy and you direct this current or this electrical current in the body where you want to direct it. So you can use it for healing your body. So this is how people do inner healing. So according to the book, The Healing of the Tayo, it teaches you how to do this by storing certain chi in certain areas with the right thoughts, because shit, this is what it is. Okay? The mind's attention is going to go into it. The mind's attention is pulled this way and that by thought, feeling, sight, and hearing. In fact, by the pull of all the physical senses. The true understanding of what mighty power is at your command when you have full control over your attention cannot be overestimated. The liquid electronic essence is this mighty energy, and it energizes whatever the attention rests upon. See? There we have it. If one be doing intense mental work, the liquid light stays within the brain and flows forth through the center of the forehead between the eyes as a ray of light. And if the inner sight be open, one can easily and always see it. If one be speaking, this pure mighty energy flows forth through the throat center as sound. If one be pouring out divine love, this liquid light flows forth as radiance from the heart center. I felt this shit. I felt the liquid light. It felt like somebody pouring oil inside your body. It's a cool sensation. Like I was laying in the bed. This was when around the time I had raised my electrical current. I was just laying in the bed, and I felt like somebody poured oil on me. But wasn't nobody in my room at all. I was in by myself. But I know what it feels like. It's a tingling, soothing sensation. It feels real soothing. It just feel like oil. But it's on the inside of your body. It's not on the outside. I don't feel like nobody pouring something on the outside. I feel like they pouring it inside your arteries and your veins. That's what it feel like. But anyway, if one be sending out intense feeling, it flows forth from the solar plexus. Here, it also performs the function of digesting the food. If one has the inner sight open, he will see a stream of light pouring out from whatever center the energy is being used at the moment. This pure liquid light becomes colored by whatever quality the personality imposes upon it through the thought, feeling, and spoken word. Here lies one responsibility as a creator, and the means by which he can correct or purify whatever has been wrongfully created. And if this life essence is released at the generative center for sex pleasure instead of building a new physical embodiment for another soul, the process of disintegration of the physical body is started, and the journey to self-generated dissolution of the body begins. It matters not what human opinion says. To the contrary, this is the inevitable, inexorable law of physical embodiment, and there is no person in the universe who can change it. This is the principal reason for the condition that is called death within the race as a whole. Let anyone who disagrees with this truth compare the brain and the body of one who conserves this liquid light over a period of few years with that of one who has wasted it over a similar period. And he will not need any other proof. The conservation of this liquid electronic light and conscious lifting of it by adoration to the mighty I Am presence and by the power of the mind through the control of the attention is the way of perfection, and is safe, sound, sensible, and reasonable. Now I'm going to stop right there, because he's saying that what y'all doing is basically y'all fucking too much. Okay? You're wasting all that vital energy. You're not letting it crystallize. You're not letting it pulsate enough to where that it will grow, that the flame, you're not feeding the flame. Okay? You're not feeding the flame. You got to feed the flame. And that flame is the electrical current. And when you don't have so much sex, the flame grows. Okay. Now they got what they call sex tantra, where you take your sexual energy and you have a ejaculation. And that's exactly what the Kundalini is. It's an ejaculation. It's like basically the Kundalini, once they go up the spinal cord and hits the pineal gland, which is a miniature universe, the Egyptians called that Hadit. Hadit was the electrical current, and Nut is the universe. So they had sex with each other. So basically, Hadit is actually having sex with the universe. Okay? So this is why that happens. So anyway, getting back on point. But anyway, the conservation of this electronic light and the conscious lifting of it by adoration to the mighty I Am presence and by the power of the mind through control of the attention by way of perfection is safe, sound, and sensible. We already established that. This is not a system of repression by the power of the human will. That is, it will always be disastrous for to dam up a highly concentrated energy and then by thought, feeling, and suggestion keep driving more of it to that point through thinking upon it in secret must of necessary cause an expulsion of some kind to take place. The method never was the original spiritual teaching of anyone who really knew and understood the truth of the law concerning it. Humanity. Okay, let me stop right there. Because what he's trying to tell you is you're thinking upon that energy too much and having too much goddamn sex. You're finna hurt something. Because I mentioned one time that you have to let it build and pulsate and grow. Feed the flame. And when I say feed the flame, that means refrain from sexual activities. Okay? Even in the book of Thoth, the Atlantean, he says, before you even try it, at least refrain from sex for 3 days. Even in the Holy Quran, it talks about going into the hereafter. I say fasting and also refraining from sex. But although these are Masonic books, it do give you a glimpse, but it don't tell you what the fuck it's talking about. So this is why you got to dwell into the occult. Okay? This is graduation, baby. Anyway, pushing on. Humanity has not, except in a very small degree, understood this truth, or thousands would have become ascended masters long before now. In order to raise out of the digression, misery, poverty, and disaster in which the masses is now wallowing, the individual must come to a clear understanding of this law and the outer activity of his mind through his conscious knowledge and control of the emotions. He shuts the doors to the most dangerous and subtle suggestions from the psychic plane, which is the most unrecognized enemy and vicious activity of the sinister force in this world. The feeling nature of mankind is a reservoir of energy, and it is impossible for thoughts to become things until one propels them forth into the sea of electronic substance by feeling. Told you. I felt for my shit. Okay? Alright, we're gonna keep this pumping. We're gonna go to another book and we finna connect dots. I'm finna get into the pineal gland, but first I gotta say something that Gobi Krishna put out. Now we in this book by Gobi Krishna, and this is in correspondence to what I just read, and the magic presence from the talks of Count Saint Germain to Godfrey Ray King. What is not known or even suspected is that the expression of awakening of Kundalini in the language of science denotes accelerated evolution of the brain and the activation of a dormant area. I'm talking about the pineal gland, and is not in it known as Brahmabra. I guess that's some type of Indian word or something. The arousal, something I'm at the Google. The arousal through the forceful methods of hatha yoga can be explosive and sudden. Now, hatha yoga deals with the yin and the yang. With hatha is basically what we would say the sun, and da is like the moon. So it's like the hot and cold. So that, which brings balance. So that would be Shiva and Shakti. Okay, can be explosive and sudden. In that case, the cerebral spinal system leaps to a new bewildering activity, creating chaos in the mental world of the subject. Lighting starts to flash in the system, and the whole inner being becomes a turbulent pool of light, with glistening silvery or golden threads making the path of the nerves through the body. That's the same shit we just read, okay, from Saint Germain in the book, The Magic Presence. Okay, so I ain't gonna keep going on with this because they saying the same thing. But this is just verification because Gopi Krishna actually went through this shit. Okay, what he raised is wrong, but he corrected it with Shakti, with the Shakti energy by concentrating it directly straight up the spinal cord and not on the side. Okay. See? So anyway, I'm gonna let y'all look at that because I'm about to get ready to go into this pineal gland. Yes, sir. We gotta get it in. Y'all can see all that. Y'all got to pause that shit. Alright. Gonna have to pause that shit. I'm fucking up with the camera. My bad, cameraman. Alright. Now, getting into the pineal gland. But we're going in this book. See, I don't want credit for shit. This is why I give all books. So can nobody stop making up shit. Okay, this is by other people that have did their research. Some of them are scientists and all types of shit. Alright, now what we're dealing with here is the Freemasonries. Alright, the exact science of human regeneration is the lost key of masonry. For when the spirit fire is lifted up through the 33 degrees segments of the spinal column and enters into the dome chamber of the skull, human skull, it finally passes into the pituitary gland body Isis, where it invokes Ra, the pineal gland, and demands the sacred name, operative masonry, and the fullest meaning of that term signifies the process by which the eye of Horus is opened. Alright, aka Cyclops, the third eye. Okay, corresponds to the Cyclops, as well as a damn unicorn. Okay, well as a unicorn. Pineal gland, a third eye. Okay, some say it was some believe, Hall believed it was symbolic to the awakening pineal gland, a unicorn. With that big ass horn in the middle. Okay. The Hindus teach the pineal gland is the third eye. It is called the eye of Dhamma. It is called by the Buddhists the all-seeing eye. It is spoken of in Christianity as the eye single. The pineal gland is supposed to secrete an oil. That's not true. The pineal gland does not secrete oil. It is the pituitary gland that secretes an oil, and then it hits the pineal gland. Because I don't remember my pineal gland secreting no damn oil, but I could feel my pituitary gland flickering like a motherfucker. So, I don't know what they talking about right here. So, anyway, shit, I'm had to wrestle with whoever wrote that shit, which is called resin and the life force of the pine tree. Because the pineal gland swells up. I don't remember that. Now, I know you got a chakra right up under your chin, and nobody ever speaks about it, but I know it's there because I felt mine. I can feel it vibrating extremely. You know, with extreme shit at an extreme rate. But anyway, the pineal gland is secreted. That's what they ain't talking about shit. It's supposed to be involved in the origin of the Rosicrucians. who were working with the secretions of the pineal gland and seeking to open the eye single. For it is said in Scripture, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body will be full with light. That's some real shit. Because the whole light body is lit then when you do that. Now moving on. Here we have it by a European by the name of David Wilcox, who wrote the book Self-Field Investigation. He's talking about the calcification of the pineal gland. Now over here, he's talking about MS, which is multiple sclerosis symptoms. MS, who were constructively admitted, he's talking about these patients, to the hospital, had pineal calcifications compared to only 43% for similar age controlled with neurological disorders. In addition, groups that have low MS incidence, African Americans, Japanese, also have less pineal calcification. See? I'm trying to tell y'all, we got the motherfucking blueprint in us. The black body, the melanated body is the God body. That's why when you read the Fingerprints of the Gods, it's a book by Graham Hancock. I got it in my storage room. It's called The Fingerprints of the Gods. And he's basically saying that the ones that left these big Negroid-looking heads, what they call Olmecs, they are the gods. He's saying it, but he just don't want to outright say it, but he's saying it in so many ways. Because he said they left their fingerprints. And he even called a book The Fingerprints of the Gods. So when you look at these ancient ruins, you're looking at the fingerprints of the gods, which when you look at the statues are all black African structured monuments. Okay? So it's saying that fluoride actually, because the gland accumulates fluoride, it contains the body's highest fluoride concentration. Research shows that this accumulation depresses melatonin synthesis with adverse consequences such as accelerating puberty onset. So fluoride is one of the worst things you can intake. It fucks up your spiritual eye. And your pineal gland governs like your whole neurological system. Okay? So it needs to be healthy. You should eat for your pineal gland and eat for your melanin. Okay? So stay away from that bullshit. And they put it in tap water, commercial toothpaste. Okay? This is a no-no if you want a healthy pineal gland. So stay away from the shit. Okay? I gotta go and tell my boy Dr. Western Price right quick. We in the same book. But Dr. Western Price found that many traditional undisturbed cultures had much higher bone density from eating their native foods. Their teeth had much higher, their teeth stayed beautifully straight without any need for orthodontics, and they hardly got cavities without even brushing. Okay? And what he found out was that as soon as processed Western foods were introduced into their diet, such as refined sugars, white flours, non-organic dairy, factory farm meats, their teeth became crooked and started to rot out their heads. Ain't that some shit? See, and all this bullshit right here, it fucks up the pineal gland, all that shit that I just mentioned. Okay? Thankfully, by not going back to a pure natural diet rich in traditional foods, including organic animal products, we can actually reverse these problems and decalcify the pineal gland. Now, Dr. Price identified a compound he called the X factor. This is how he restored these people cavities, restored their enamel, and got them right back to what they needed. He just put them back on their original diet. Okay, but what it was that they lacked vitamin K2, and vitamin K2 actually transport calcium to the bone marrow. Okay, as well. See, you can intake calcium, but if you don't have vitamin K2, it's not transported to the teeth, to the bone marrow, none of that shit. So what happens is your red blood cells become calcified, And your red blood cells, they actually tow oxygen through your bone, through your muscle tissue. And once it becomes calcified, your red blood cells, it hits the muscle tissue and it's not actually towing the oxygen where it needs to go, and it's not weaving through your muscle tissues like it should, because the red blood cells should be loose and flimsy, where they can go in and out through muscle tissues transporting oxygen. Okay, oxygen is a life force. It is a life giver. So you must have it. So a lot of people, they depleted of energy and shit, and they look all dried up because they lack that. As well as they got energy blockages, so the Kundalini energies ain't flowing right. So they all fucked up. So all of this ties in with one another. So anyway, which seemed to be the key ingredient. If you're a vegetarian, you can get it from organic butter oil. Harvest from the cattle, see, who feed only on fresh, organic, ripely grown grass. Meat eaters can take fermented cod liver oil or rat liver oil, which is even better. That shit expensive as hell too if you order it, because I used to take it all the time. And everybody was like, how the fuck you get your teeth so white? Shit, I said I was on that Dr. Price program. And it works. Price also recommend combining land and sea, butter oil and fermented. I just read it. Okay. No, I didn't. Okay, anyway, for even stronger results, activated X is also found on organic grass-fed eggs and meat products. In his book, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration, Price revealed controversial photos of people who apparently reversed tooth decay and regrew enamel once they restored activated X into their diets. Okay, apparatal plaque and a great killer in heart attacks and strokes, and coupled and cleaned out, and the pineal function greatly improved by decreasing its calcification. See that book, Nutrition and Degeneration? Bam, on your ass. Nutrition and Physical Degeneration. So Dr. Price, in his book, damn, this book cost me a lot of money. He goes into and shows how the teeth and what he did was restored and how he did it. Okay, these are some of the images in Dr. Weston Price's book, how these people's teeth look. Okay, these are some of the befores. Okay, how they looked, how he restored the teeth and shit. All right. See, some of them was fucked up. Some of them started growing crooked because they was on that dairy product shit. But at first they had perfect teeth. Okay, where we at? See, look at that. Look at that shit. What the fuck is that? See, this is what happened when you eat that bullshit. You reconstruct your DNA when you intake bullshit. And your DNA was designed to be perfect. But when you reconstruct it and take away the natural elements that's in it, as we read in the source field investigation, this shit can cause confusion. See? So eat the light.